Hey guys, so today we'll be doing a EGR upgrade kit on this 2019 Ram. So to do this job, there's going to be a bunch of tools that you'll need to use. What I have here is a 1/4 and a 3/8 drive electric ratchet, a carbide scraper or a scraper of some sort, a 5mm Allen, a set of zip tie cutters, just a set of pliers, a pick, an 8, 11, a 10, a 12, 16, a 21, 22, and a 15/16 or 24mm wrench. I have a nut driver here, 3/8 ratchet, a set of upholstery tool, a utility knife, a 3/8 torque wrench, assortment of 1/4 inch extensions, a 7mm, an 8mm, a 10mm, 11mm, 1/4 inch sockets, 6mm Allen, and an 8, an 11, a 13, a 15, and a 16mm socket, and a short 16mm socket, assortment of 3/8 extensions, and a 15mm torque adapter. And that's everything that you'll need to complete this job. First off, we're going to be draining the coolant. It's on the driver's side. There is a drain down here. So right there is my drain. You just twist it counterclockwise, drain it into a bucket. Unplug your intake. Some of these connectors have little tabs on them you gotta take off. You don't need them anymore. Clip up, push down, take your clamps off. And then we're just gonna start removing all these connectors. This one also has a cover on it. Those you can just throw away. And then we're gonna grab our 8mm. Take your 4 8mm off for this engine cover. Take your oil dipstick out. Okay, so there's usually a clamp that goes here. There's an 8mm under here. Someone's had this off before and has not put this clamp back on, but yeah. Grab your 11mm with a small extension. And same thing for this guy. Pry the clamp loose. Get that off. And then we just have another connector right here. Grab your upholstery tool. Take that off. Take your other clip off right here. Red tab back. Push down. Pull out. Grab a 10mm. 4 bolts take out. That piece comes off. There's 2 gaskets. Just come off like that. Take a scraper. Scrape all this stuff off of here. Grab your blocker plate for the intake. Push your O-rings in. Grab your 4 Allen heads, bolts. Grab a 6mm Allen. And we're going to tighten these to 18 foot-pounds. Now that we have our EGR plate on there, other than unplugging the throttle valve, we're done on that side. We got 2 10mm bolts here. Or nuts, I should say. And we got one on the side here. And we'll take this guy off as well. I'm going to grab a wrench for that. There's 2 more up top. We got another one over here. 10mm nut right here. to take this heat shield cover off. And then there's an 8mm down here we got to take off, and then that whole shield comes off. And this one as well. Take a 24 and a 22, and we're going to loosen this coolant line here. That goes to our turbo. And we have another 10mm there. Okay, next we're going to take this piece off right here. There's two 15mm nuts on both sides, and the best way to do this is by taking a 15mm torque adapter, and that way you can get it in. Usually you can loosen the nut a little bit, and the rest you can do by hand, just like that. And then the inside one, I use an extension to get in. Just gotta work it out of there. Now we just gotta take this clamp off, another 11mm. That just comes out just like that. What I usually do, take this gasket, make sure there's no rips in it or anything, and we'll just reuse that gasket. Put a blocker plate on it for now, and then let's take this wire harness away. Another one of those clips. Now the only reason why I'm taking this valve cover off is to take this bracket off, because if you don't take this bracket off, it doesn't look the greatest. Plus these can cause a little rattle on your engine bay. Okay, so these are the two 8mm bolts. There. Now it looks a lot cleaner. I'll keep the CCV cover off of it for now, just because it's easier taking the actual cooler out. There's two 15mm bolts in the back of the engine bay behind the cooler, and then we have two bolts going into the head like this underneath this cooler. And I gotta pull this out of here, and the back pressure sensor. This, I'll move it out of the way, and then our 60 RP dipstick. Now, if you do have an Ace in trucking, you will not have this dipstick here. Your dipstick will be on this side. We'll pry it off. Now, it's going to be a 12mm for our back pressure sensor that goes into the manifold there. This 12mm. And then this guy, I just get a screwdriver in the back here, and you pretty much just pry on it until it comes off. And then you have one 13mm there and one 13mm there. There's another one. And then we just have our two 15mm in the back. Oh, get it all the way in the back. So these are the same as the front ones. Once you usually get them loose, they're usually good, and they'll screw out by hand. So I'm just gonna crack them here and then get my hand back there and undo the rest of them. Sometimes you'll get one that will snap on you. It'll usually snap pretty early, so you'll still be able to get the EGR cooler out, but you'll just have to weld it up and get it out of the manifold, or the nut will seize on the stud, and the stud will just walk right out of the manifold, which therein you just get a new stud and a new nut, which isn't a big deal. All right, once you have those two bolts out, cooler is loose. Just give it a little pry to get this guy out of that head piece. and then pull up in the back, and then just kind of feed it out. And then we'll grab our rear blocker plate for it. This is our rear blocker plate. Make sure this one's tight. But what I also like to do, if you're not putting an EGT probe in your truck, hit it with some red Loctite before you tighten it, just to ensure that this guy doesn't pop out on you. Red Loctite, screw it in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the vise. It's a 5mm Allen, and just make sure it's nice and tight. And what this does is, when the truck's constantly heating up and cooling down, expands and contracts. If you don't have red Loctite on that, this brass fitting can slowly work itself out, and then you have a big exhaust leak. Put that plate on the back, and what we're going to do is we're going to, since all our factory nuts are still in good shape, we're just going to put our factory nuts back on there. Grab our 15mm socket here. And these we're going to torque to 44 foot-pounds. Take this O-ring off. Take a little bit of lubricant to lube up that O-ring. This will go in right here. Nice and tight fit. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to take this bolt out. And we're going to replace it with a different style bolt so that there's a bracket to hold this coolant riser up can fit in here. So that's a 13mm. It's the 4th bolt in on top of the manifold from the front. Place it with this style. Screw it in. And this is a 16mm. We'll torque it to 35 foot-pounds. Grab this bracket, and this bracket goes in like this. It slides over top of that piece we just put into our coolant riser. And then what we'll do here is we'll put a bolt in the back on that stud that we just put into the manifold to hold it there. There's another bolt that goes through here. This hose just connects back into our valve cover. This will be a bolt and a nut to hold our 68 RF dipstick. Now if you'd have an ASIN truck, this dipstick won't be here, so this will just be empty. You won't need that. And then one of these bolt holes will also be for our back pressure sensor to hold that in place. And then we will just need to put our hose in here that attaches from here to here. So this is our 16mm bolt that goes in the back. Tighten these to 30. 13mm here. We're going to torque this to 15 on this front bolt. There. We're going to go put our coolant line back on. There's an O-ring on this side. Just make sure that O-ring is still on there nicely. Good and tight. Grab our back pressure sensor. This one we're gonna point to the back. Just tighten it up with your 12mm here. And then we'll put a bolt in right here, our bracket. We'll grab our torque wrench again, 15 foot-pounds. So let's grab our hose and our 2 hose clamps, and you can use a flat screwdriver or a 7mm to tighten this. I'm just gonna push it on the one side, push it on the other side. Then on this one here, you're gonna wanna open it up just enough before it splits, and then you'll be able to feed it over and then tighten it. And then this one here, tighten it, hose clamp up nice and tight, and then we'll just put our bolt through our 468 RV dipstick. This is going to be a 11 mil. I'll torque this one to 10 pounds. And take your valve cover. Put all your bolts back in here. We'll torque these to 7. In order for you to get this hose to fit a little better around this coolant hose, this is for your CCV hose. If you put it on like this, it kind of hits a lot there, and you have a lot of hose room here. So what I do is I'll just take and cut off a bit of it, and it just doesn't put any stress on the other coolant hose here. So just where the factory clamp is sat, just take off just beside it. There. Then take your wiring harness, feed it back, push it into the bolts, clip that guy in, and then this is your back pressure sensor, which is now located in the back here. So you just go and plug it in over here. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the shibby plugs in here and then zip tie this wire to the wire harness, just so that it doesn't hang freely and get caught in the manifold or heat up. And so once you have your shibby plug installed in that EGR connector, go ahead and plug in your back pressure sensor in the back here. Plug that in the back there. And then the next thing is we're gonna unplug our throttle valve. This is your throttle valve plug-in. Just gotta move your red tab back, push down on this. Comes right out, and then plug it with a shibby plug. Take your shibby plug, click it in, push the red locking tab back in, plug in, and then what I'll do is I will just zip tie them in the back here along the wiring harness. And then we got our another sensor in the front here. Clip in, locking tab. It's tied up under there. And then it's also good practice just to wiggle the grid heater nut. This one's nice and tight still. Other than that, put the coolant in and the intake in, and then we're done under the hood. Tighten both of your clamps. Plug both of your sensors in your air box back in. Done. Now we're gonna vacuum fill this coolant. If you don't have a vacuum fill, what I would do is I would go ahead and take this hose off and then just fill it up, and all your air from your engine will escape out of here. And then once you have it filled up to the point of minimum or max, usually I'll fill up to max because usually it will drop a little bit after the thermostat opens. Fill it up to max and it stays at max. Put this hose back on and your coolant will be filled all the way. It's just a precaution so that you don't have an airlocked engine. I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum fill this, but tighten up your coolant drain down here.